These two guys. These two guys. It's these two guys.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is Larry.
And George.
And we are
These Two Guys. Yeah.
So, lots happening again in the world.
Yep. But before we get started, I want to do the things that we always forget. We always wait till the end, and then those of you who don't wait till the end, you don't get to see this. All right. Our YouTube channel, you're obviously on it now, okay? Like and subscribe. Doesn't cost anything. Helps us grow and stay doing this stuff, and we enjoy doing it, and we hope you do too. Also, we have merchandise. We have a website, these2guys.com with the number 2, okay? So you just got to go there. You can see the merchandise on there. You can see our Power Blast energy drink.
Oh, it's now on the merch site?
Yeah, it's been on the merch site. Yeah, it's delicious. You can order a 4-pack. We'll ship it to you. Check that out on there. If you live local, you could buy it here in our local stores. But obviously, if you don't live local, you can't do that. And a contest. We are having a contest and giving away a piece of merchandise on our merch page. We have things that are $100 and some, which is a full comforter you can put on your bed.
Very nice comforter.
Yeah. Or we have some glasses, we have some hats, we have some shirts, whatever it is you want. Go ahead and not subscribe, but go ahead and fill out the contest form. We don't sell it to anybody. We don't give your information away. Fill it out. It'll send us a link. And then when we do the contest drawing in June, we'll pick a winner from that, and we will send it to you, ship it to you direct, and it won't cost you a penny.
You don't even have to pay for shipping.
Don't even have to pay for shipping.
We still do want you to subscribe.
Yes, we would like you to like and subscribe. And also, if you want to get on our Facebook, These Two Guys Facebook, subscribe there too. It helps on both of them. So YouTube, Facebook, obviously, and we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, and all that stuff too. All right. So, what a week.
What a week. So we had interesting, we did a little garage sale, multifamily garage sale. For our Facebook fans, you guys have seen George posting some solicitation. Come over here and buy some great stuff. Did pretty good with the garage sale. Yeah. I think Alvin, who was a member of our podcast one time, he did a podcast with us. I think he spent more than he made. Yeah, that's typical Alvin.
Yeah,
is it? Spends more than he makes. He's a great salesman.
Oh yeah. He sold stuff for us.
Right, he sold stuff for us, and anybody, and there's more story behind it, but anybody could take a roll of a $10 coin and sell it for $25. It's got to be a great salesman, and I think he made almost $300-400 with it, if not more. Yeah. So,
well, explain what the coins were.
They were 50-cent pieces. They were uncirculated. So you can buy these $10 rolls of 50-cent pieces, and I have 2 of them, but mine were circulated, so you can get there and you can see that they've been, moved around or whatever and used. But you can buy them uncirculated for $10 a roll, which is $10, what you pay for. But they sell these things for like $25-30 on the internet for a roll of $10 quarters, as long as they're uncirculated. And I think they're dated. There's a commemorative date from 1776.
Yeah, so it's the whole 250th. So it's sort of like for the 250th anniversary on that. Yeah.
So he was selling those things like hotcakes.
Yeah, we should give one of those away. Maybe we could buy one from him and we'd give it away.
Ooh, yeah.
That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
That sounds good. So little roll with 50-cent pieces, about that big, yay big around, and they're worth way more than in their face value. Yeah.
So now, we think about topics all the time, and then something happens to make the topic come to us. And of course, we were working on the yard sale on Saturday, and then Saturday night, get home, turn the TV on. It's like, oh my gosh, another assassination attempt on our president.
Yeah. Well, this one was more of a slaughter. I guess apparently he had a list. It was anybody there except for Kash Patel, apparently.
Yeah, he didn't.
He's a friend of Kash for whatever reason.
But I find it interesting. Now we can go look through. If you guys haven't seen any of the video, you're living under a rock because there's so much out there. In fact, President Trump posted the first video, which was the security camera from the hotel, which when the guy ran out seemed to surprise everybody, right? But here's the thing. I don't think he was as serious as his manifesto said. And the reason I say that is because he came out of that room, and he was wanting to get everybody to get to the president. He didn't fire a shot till after he went past through there. And I think he fired one shotgun blast, hit one of the agents, but he was wearing a protective vest. So he's out of the hospital already. But this guy, the way he talked in his manifesto, he was going to shoot up a bunch of people. He was going to kill a bunch of people. And he didn't really do anything. He ran past the guards. When was he going to start killing?
He was not in his right state of mind either. Plus, he wasn't in the...
Well, how do you know?
Who would do that?
Well, he wasn't one... have you read any of the manifesto?
Yeah, a little bit.
He didn't seem like he seemed like he was angry.
Yeah, he was he's definitely very angry.
He seemed like he was very angry, but he didn't, to me, he didn't seem very committed.
I think it just goes to show the warpage in the guy's mind. People are like completely insane. Like, and this is going on the side of fiction here, but look at some of these like movie villains, right? You got the Joker types that are completely insane, and
right?
And then you get like the Howard Payne guy from Speed. The Dennis Hopper's bad guy, which is like completely calm, completely calm and composed and everything when they're. And I would imagine that some of these people, obviously, clearly not in their right state of mind, and he knows that it's not like he's going to a paintball convention and doing this. They've got real bullets. There's real consequences. Somebody can shoot him. He's willing to die for what he was going to do.
Yeah.
He's very lucky he didn't, or maybe he's not lucky, but I don't think he was in his right state of mind. And I think when you see these manifestos that people write, you got to really it's almost impossible for you and I to put ourselves in their shoes when they're writing this, but I can't see anybody in a right state of mind when they're doing that.
Well, I want to back up a little bit because, the term manifesto
it was not a manifesto.
Came up like when the Unabomber.
Right.
The Unabomber had a manifesto. I think it was 2 inches thick or something,
Yeah, it was pretty
something like that. So this was basically a letter of grievance, I would call it.
Right.
And I just don't, I don't agree with you on this. I don't think the guy was totally committed to doing this. I don't think, I think he was angry. I think he was upset. I think he felt like nobody was doing anything about the Epstein files. Nobody was doing anything about, anything that was going on there. And he was just totally torqued about it. And I maybe that makes him crazy. Maybe it does. But I don't know.
Definitely emotional.
Yes, definitely emotional.
I just, when I see these things, okay, and we kind of have to go back to, what we know about some of the previous assassination attempts, and even like Charlie Kirk. They're always writing something. There's always something that's written, or there's something they leave behind, and I think that is intentional. I think they want to know people. They want people to know what their motive was.
Well, why they did it, yeah.
Why they did it, yeah. And so, Crooks and all and Robertson and all these other guys. They always leave something behind. I think they're committed. I think it's just different levels of craziness or emotion.
Well, but I mean, if you look at wanting to kill somebody as being crazy, or wanting to avenge somebody, or something as being crazy, then if you look at someone that works within the government that does that for a living, are they crazy?
Oh, I've known people who does wet work. Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah.
I've met people who have worked in government agencies and has done things, and they'll look at you in the face. You'll have dinner for them, and you'll think they're the most normal person until they go down that rabbit hole. You open up that door,
right,
that Pandora's box, and you start talking to them, and you start realizing this person has done some crazy shit.
Well, done some crazy shit, but does that make them crazy? I mean, if you think you have a righteous purpose in what you're doing, for example, say you work for the president. There's a mass murderer in Ghana, right? And this guy's killing people. All right. This guy is sent from the U.S. government over there, to kill that guy. And he's got to figure out how to do it. He's got to figure out how to get in there, get away with it, make it happen, and then come out of there and either extract the body or maybe do it solo, maybe do it with a SEAL team. I don't know. You know, does that make them crazy?
I see what you're saying. There's definitely, not necessarily loonies in the sense where, you know, padded room crazy. Right. Obviously, they've justified in their head what they want to do. There's some justification where their life is, they're willing to lay down their life for this. And in the same regard, you have Secret Service. These guys they're paid, their job is to jump in front of a bullet. That would also make, in the same tone that I was going with, that would also make them crazy.
Right.
So they're not, so they're not crazy. I don't think, and I'm probably misjudged by saying crazy, but there's definitely, they're committed.
Right.
They're committed to doing what they want to do. And that's why I think that he was going to follow through. I mean, he shot first. You know, you shot first.
Did he?
Well, yeah, he shot the guy in the chest.
Right, but we don't have any video of him doing that.
Yeah, actually, you can see. If you
is that him when he's running by?
When he's running through, you can see.
Is that the guy who falls down, then comes up on his?
And he's knee? Staggering because he got hit.
I thought he just got hit.
No,
like the guy hit him.
That was the shot. That's why some videos blur it out, because he wasn't bleeding, but you can see, I guess you can see, like somebody said, you can even see the smoke coming from his vest.
All right, I'll take a look at that again.
So that's when he ran through and he shot. And that's why it looks like they turn around and think they're shooting, because if you watch the gun barrels, you can see a little bit of muzzle flip.
Right.
I don't know if they're actually shooting or if they're talking at the same time or what's going on.
But the guy was not wounded by a bullet.
But he was, that guy was moving.
Yeah.
They have to slow that down in order for you to actually see him. That guy's like a superhero. Like
Teacher of the month, man.
Yeah. Teacher of the month.
Makes him a superhero.
Because when I saw the video when we came home from the garage sale, it's like, we get home, we're all tired, and I'm watching this video of this guy running down the hallway, and I'm like, what is this? This is before I even knew what had happened. And all I can say, my very first thoughts was, that dude is fast. He was pretty fast.
Now, I'm going to say something here, and I hope it doesn't get me in trouble. But if we go based on what you said about him, in my mind, I'm probably a little bit crazy.
No.
Because there's things that I've thought, if I didn't get caught, could I do this? And I'm not talking about killing the president. I'm talking about, a vengeful act.
Right.
Could I do that if I was paying somebody back for some heinous crime they did to somebody? And if I could do it without getting caught, would I do it? And in my mind, I'm saying, yeah, I probably would. But yet I don't do it because
of sanity.
Maybe, or,
Talk yourself out of it.
Yeah, I talk myself out of it.
I think we all go down that path. I've done it. I had a guy who scammed me, and oh my God, the evil stuff, the plotting, and I'm not an engineer, but I can put some stuff together and make some stuff happen if I wanted to, right? Like I watch enough crime forensic shows to kind of know, but sanity takes control. Like, dude, you don't want to do this. What if somebody dies? What if this happens? What if, So I think we all kind of snap out of it. This guy was committed. He went from California.
Yeah, and he went by train.
He
had plenty of time to think about it. It's not like a 3-hour plane ride, 4-hour plane ride.
So I think he was committed. That's right there with the lady, the astronaut, that put a diaper on because she didn't want to stop her drive to like the California from Florida or whatever to kill the girl in that love triangle. Remember that story? Like multiple.
I remember
years
that.
ago.
I vaguely remember. Yeah.
She did not want to stop, so she put a diaper on. Like she had the mindset of doing this, and she was committed. So when you're driving from Florida to California, you got plenty of time to think about what you're doing. So people, I think he was committed. I just think I think his level of consciousness and his level of thinking was far different than you and I can comprehend because we've never been there.
Yeah. But, you see a lot of these guys, like, a lot of these kids, like the first, I don't know if it was the first attempt, but where Trump got shot in the ear.
Crooks. Yeah.
This kid turned out to be a loner type.
Right.
The Charlie Kirk kid turned out to be kind of a loner type.
Right.
He didn't have so it's all these things. But this is a person who has taught kids, invented a wheelchair brake. I mean, he's done some pretty.
Yeah, if you can call it that.
Well, I mean, but you know, but
Yes.
still,
That's
he got on TV
He
for
was,
it. So.
yeah, he was thinking.
So you know, he's like, so he doesn't seem like he was totally off his rocker.
Well, see, and to me, that goes in a tone of rhetoric and indoctrination, and because some of the stuff he wrote on there is exactly the same talking points that we see every day in social media. And one thing we do know about at least most of the people that the information has been shared with us, a lot of people had either they were brought up conservative and then at some point flipped, or they have conservative families, they live in the houses. So they have exposure to that duality of ideology, right? When it comes to politics, like, was it Crook's family, right? His parents they were all conservative. He was raised conservative. And then at some point he got indoctrinated and then did what he did. Same with this guy. I think at some point they said he was also conservative.
Well, that's just like the same thing with religion. You know, I mean, I grew up in a Catholic household, but when I became of age, I was like, no, there's no, I don't believe that.
Yeah, you don't
I believe this instead. You know, so I guess it's the same thing. It's kind of like, you know.
And if somebody is emotionally, if you're not emotionally, you know, your foundation sound, yeah. If you're not emotionally sound, it's just a switch. It's like what did the Joker say in Batman? Just a slight push to push someone over that edge. And I think a lot of these guys that are doing this, they found that push. And unfortunately, it is a lot of rhetoric. I don't necessarily subscribe that the rhetoric from the right is creating this, only because when you say things like, you know, you call a, I mean, not justifying any of this, but you call a reporter piggy. That's terrible. You say this, that's terrible. You say the enemy within. If you're not pinpointing one particular person who's that enemy, that's terrible. But when you're calling someone pedophile, Nazi, you know, you're doing this all the time. That's some of the same stuff that was in his manifesto. That's the same stuff he's hearing.
Right.
So I think that does push a lot of people over the edge. I mean,
see, but we're talking chicken egg here. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? I think if you would have had a different president in there that didn't disrespect people the way he does, you probably wouldn't have the same thing that's going on right now.
Right, but let's say
doesn't mean what they're doing is right.
No, but think about let's think about like what rhetoric is, right? If there's two people in front of me and they both don't like me, and I say something about you're a fat, ugly individual, wouldn't make you want to go kill him. But if I tell you that person's a murderer and he's killed families and he's done this and he's done that, you're more likely to want to go after that person. So there's mean things you can say, but there's things that you can say that make people feel like like he felt like he had to justify for the poor victims of Epstein. The same with the guy with the shotgun and went in Mar-a-Lago. They not everybody is sound enough to understand that these are talking points. This is political games that go back and forth, and a lot of people, they don't rationalize that.
See, but when you get talking the violent aspects of it, and you get talking the very mean spirited, it's when that line starts to dissolve of right or wrong.
Right.
Because they start thinking, well, you know, if all this is true, then I'm justified in what I do. Right.
And that's the scary thing, is that a lot of it, I mean, you know, and I hate to beat the Epstein thing. Well, actually, I don't hate it, because it's a topic that's not going to go away for a long time.
Not until they do something about it.
Not to do something about it. There's obviously a lot of corruption. There's a lot of bad things that happen in the Epstein files. But let's be honest. Since 2019, he got arrested during Trump's administration, right? So that trial happened during Trump's administration.
Who?
Epstein, 2019, because Trump was still president.
Oh, you don't mean the first time he was arrested.
No, not the first time.
Okay, all right.
And Biden's DOJ had those files for 4 years. The guy got indicted 91 times. If he had any real smoking gun, we got to be honest. If he had a really smoking gun, that would have been the one thing they could have said about Trump and showed proof, and no one would have voted for him. But they didn't have it. They didn't show it because I don't think they had it. So,
well, I don't know that they didn't have it. I think that there were too many other names in there on both sides that kept that quiet. I just have to believe that Trump's in there, he's not in there. You know what? There's a bunch of people in there. They redacted all the names. we're not going to find out who,
No, we're
who
not
was
gonna
in
find
there.
out who.
So, all it takes is somebody with a little bit of influence to keep powerful people at bay.
Yeah, I still don't. I mean, I just feel that let's go down to history here. You got the Russia hoax, right? We figured out that was not true. We got the liars and suckers. We figured out that was. I mean, all these things that have been debunked. They the bloodbath comment was debunked. The Charlottesville, they found out, if you watched 10 seconds before that, he did say he condemned. I mean, all these things that the media and the politicians were throwing out towards him. Even BBC, where they took his speech on January 6th and they took an excerpt from like an hour after he said, let's go down to the Capitol, and they merged it together. They got busted. I mean, so you look at all this stuff. If we think that he was honestly in the Epstein files in a compromising position, I think he would have been done.
Yeah, I have to disagree on that. I don't know if he's in there in a compromising position or not, but I don't think we're ever going to know.
I don't think we ever know. I don't think we'll ever know. But I mean, they released the FBI call logs, and people take that as gospel. They think that those calls that came in where somebody reported, I think there's even one in there where he ate a baby. Like people believe that.
Well, there is some ridiculous stuff.
There are some rich people who, I'm pretty sure there's rich people who have done that. I don't doubt it. But the guy, they found that he's the one that called in Epstein, I think in 2007 or whatever, the first time he got called in to, when they arrested him and everything. I don't think he's a saint. I just think that a lot of things that are said about him, like people don't know, or they don't think beyond what they're being told. And that's the gospel. This guy is still saying, he's calling him a pedophile. There's nothing that proves he's a pedophile. And I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying there's nothing have. There's no proof.
Yeah, no proof that we've seen.
No, nothing that we've seen that says he is. But this guy is willing to lay down his life because that's what he believes. When people say fascism and fascists, I mean, hell, if you're honest about the landscape of Democrats and Republicans over the past 10 years, they're both fascists. They're both fascists. I've had my Facebook post when I used to post funny things about Kamala Harris's word silence would get removed as misinformation from Facebook. So yeah, I was silenced. I couldn't make jokes. So I know that it happened from both sides, and that was during Biden's administration. The fact that no one got to do a primary for the Democratic running.
Yeah, that was wrong.
So there's your democracy. We didn't get the vote for having to take vaccines, in order to keep our jobs and stuff. So that was during. So they both have been fascists. There's a threat to democracy from both sides, but yet we only hear about Trump. And if you bring it up about Biden or during Biden's administration, if you bring up deportations under Barack Obama, most people do this. They don't want to talk about it. It's like, oh no, whatever. And then come to realize that Trump has not even deported a third of what Barack Obama deported. Yeah. 60-something people died under his ICE. No one talks about it, but yet, Trump's the Gestapo, and so that stuff. To people who don't have that mindset, where let me think about this rationally. Let me think about it rationally. They're just intake.
Right, but say all of a sudden tomorrow you started saying some of the things that we know Trump has said. Mm-hmm. How do you think people would view you?
If I mention Trump's name and it's not,
I'm not talking about Trump. I'm not talking about Trump. I'm talking about you. Uh-huh. From your perspective as Larry, start saying things like Trump has said, like he said with the Bush kid in the van, in the bus, and stuff like that, and then just called people piggy and made this thing here. What do you think people would think of you? So,
if I did it out loud, well, first of all,
I'm talking about doing it out loud. I'm talking about doing it in public.
Being a guy, I think. With me not being a political person or a famous person, it would probably go into the ether unless I supported something that people hate. Then I'll get the cancel list. I think if If I had a podcast, no one knew who I was, and I said it, nobody would care, no matter who's seen it. But now, if I have a podcast and I said those same things, and I say I'm wearing a MAGA hat, I think people will come after me.
Okay, so if you were, say, like at a car show, and there were 50 people standing around there, and you just started saying stuff to all the people that are there, you don't think they'd think any different of you?
Oh, I think a lot of people would think less of me, but I don't think they'd want to kill me.
No. And I'm not talking about wanting to kill you. I'm just talking about.
Like the grab him by the boohoo. Yeah, I mean,
I'm just talking about decorum, and how most. I'm not going to say he's abnormal, but most normal people act, and how most normal people speak when they're communicating.
So based on some of the things, like the piggy thing, no, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. She was rude. And I'm not justifying it, but she was rude.
Right.
He asked her a couple times to stop, and she kept going. So he said what he said. I'm not going to justify it. I think it was a terrible thing he said. I think the thing he said about Japan and Pearl Harbor, was tasteless. I thought it was funny, but I thought it was tasteless. And the whole the locker conversation, I've been around some pretty raunchy guys. I've said things, something like that, but I don't know any rich and famous people that will allow that. But I've said things about women and sex and
Right.
other things and stuff.
I think everybody has.
Everybody
and
has.
There's women out there that have done it too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I think people would definitely look at me in a lesser light. But
Well, that's all I'm saying. That's what I think that's happened with Trump. That Trump could have been more of a statesman and had less controversy today
right.
if he'd have just spoken a little bit different.
I think so too, but I also think that there is a political spin that will make people see things that the party that's controlling it makes you want to see. Because
Well, there is spin. That's another
there's
thing.
definitely a lot of spin, because let's look at, again, no one's going after Barack Obama for his bombings. No one's saying anything about it, even though the conservatives bring it up all the time just to let people know, like, hey, you're pointing at Trump for this, but what about this? And they turn a blind eye to it. So I think with the
Well,
things
you
that
can go back far. You can go back to Bush too.
oh yeah, no, they all have done it.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, ICE was there since 2003. That's 23 years ICE has been in fun. But now all of a sudden, under Trump's second term, now they're Gestapo. So I think that the spin is really what's doing it, not so much as the action. I think that the things that Trump said and did before he ran for office, some of the stuff that that we've called him out for, and the court cases where they put a gag order on him but not anybody. I mean, just all this stuff is designed to make you not like him.
Well, here's something I'll admit. I don't think the ICE situation is Trump's fault.
No.
I don't think the way ICE reacted, I don't think the way the protesters reacted, I don't think that's Trump's fault. I think that's a whole different part of the administration, that, because you got to remember, okay, if you're the president, you say the buck stops here.
Right.
Right?
Right.
That doesn't mean that he is aware and agreeing with everything that's going on out there. Because sometimes you find out something after the fact.
Right. He can't micromanage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think that's all his fault.
I don't think it's all his fault, and I really don't think a lot of it has changed since 2003. I mean, if you really think about it, ICE has done exactly the same job. There was, when Trump came back into office, the only thing that changed is he said, and this is what the people voted for, was the biggest mass deportation in U.S. history. And that came on the back of the fact that we had the biggest influx of undocumented people coming in the country in history. Right. So I think it was a yin yang situation. You have give take, situation, or what's the consequences and reactions. I think that's what that was. But because you had so many people, you get out, you have to hire more ICE, and then you start telling the police, don't even assist with crowd control. You call them Gestapos, you call them Nazis. Now people are showing up while they're doing their operations, but they have no police to keep them at bay. So then they need more of their ICE agents to do what the police would have normally done. They don't have to help them with pulling people out of prison or help them knock on doors or do anything else. But the crowd control should be something that a state police should do just in order to keep their own citizens safe.
I agree with that, yeah.
And they didn't do it. So that's why you see the influx of all this violence and the protests going crazy. And then, you look at, when we go back into rhetoric, when we look at Renee Good and Alex Preddy, I still condemn the Democrat leaders at that point, because if I'm concerned about you, and you go into a bar and you're drinking, and I know that you can get into a fight because that's what you normally do. If I care about you, I'm going to say, hey, let's not go into the bar and drink because remember what happened last time or whatever, right? Not one Democrat that says, hey, you guys protest, stay safe, don't get involved with ICE. It's, to me, in my mind, it's almost like, their silence is admittance and permission to go out there and put your lives on the line against these ICE agents who could shoot you because they are armed and they are doing, dangerous jobs.
Well, that's a chance you take when you do that. But at the same time, I don't think that ICE reacted the way they should have reacted.
Well, I mean, they should. Well, I mean, one guy got hit by a car, and the other one,
Oh, he didn't get hit by a car. Oh my goodness, he barely got touched.
It's a 4,000-pound vehicle, and so.
Trust me, I hit a kid with a car before. I know what happens.
I've been hit by a car before, so I know. And then the other guy had a gun, and he took a gun to a protest, which anybody who has a concealed carry, which he has, will know. They will tell you don't bring a gun to a. They tell you don't bring it, but they don't tell you can't bring it. Yeah, there's no law that says you not, but the law of common sense will tell you not to do it, especially if you're going to manhandle an armed officer.
But they drew the gun off him and then they shot him, so that's the difference.
Yeah, it's the difference.
I mean, that's maybe it's still the chance he took by taking it there.
But imagine if he didn't have a gun, they just would have beat him. They would have kicked his ass. They kicked his ass and put him on the ground, and he'd be sitting there drinking soup out of a straw right now, but he'd be alive.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was, and then for her, you know what? Don't flee when you've been given a lawful order to stop. She'd be alive.
I have to disagree with you on that one. That's okay. I still think it was just overreach on their part, but that's just me.
I think the rhetoric, I think the fact that
the rhetoric doesn't help.
It doesn't help, no, and it doesn't help when we're constantly calling him, and even if you feel that he's Hitler, if you feel he's a pedophile, you can feel all the stuff you want to. But you got to realize there's a causality and there's a fact to what you say to people who may not be as smart as you, may not be as hinged as you. Because there are people out there on the left and the right who
definitely unhinged.
They don't know. They don't have,
and they don't have that filter to say, oh, well, this I might be thinking it, but it's probably not good for me to do it.
Right.
Yeah. I agree with that. 100%.
We see it. 100%. And I think that, you can't. I don't go with the both side argument when people say, oh, well, he said this and they said that. Well, if I'm calling you a piggy, or if I'm talking about what I did in the locker room, or what you can do with women when you're rich versus you're Hitler, you're the second coming of Christ, you're going to destroy our democracy, you're going to take away our freedoms, you're going to do all this. Those will definitely give you two different reactions from an individual who's unhinged.
Yeah.
And
I want to say this. I want to say it ain't over yet.
No.
I don't know how this is going to turn out. I mean, maybe some of these people are right in what they're saying. It's not done yet. Hopefully they're all wrong.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're wrong. Hopefully, he's not a Hitler character. Hopefully he's not all this stuff. And again, you got to be pretty bad to be Hitler.
Yes.
You got to do more things than what Trump has done to be called that. Now, maybe they can look at some things and say, well, this is sort of the way he started, or sort of, but you don't know until it's all over with.
Well, here's what I find is really like the hypocrisy, and I think this is funny, because like I said, I try to comb all media, left, right, and center. I find it funny that all the references to Trump, and they go back to all these references, and they try to make these connections between Trump and, he's got the book Mein Kampf and all this other stuff, right? And go read that. And all this power, all this energy, all this hate goes into that. But yet the Democrats elect an official that actually has a swastika or a German symbolism on his chest, who claims he didn't know what it was. but not one person is calling him Hitler or
Yeah, that's
a
kind
Nazi.
of stupid to not know what it was.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I knew that when I was a kid. So that's the hypocrisy that I think that makes it kind of deflates the anger for me when people were calling him Hitler. It's like, okay, you have another, the Virginia lady who, during the debate, she was asked point blank how she felt about one of her constituents who said he would kill his political opponent and his kids with a gun. And she was flat out asked, do you support that? And she wouldn't even answer. That's the easiest no in
Right.
the world.
Yeah, you'd think.
Right?
You'd
You would think. Yeah, but no, they don't say. So when I see this, like the hypocrisy is just kind of, it's weak. It's like, it just, and like I said, I'm not a Trumper. I don't believe in Trump. I believe in America. When Biden was in office, as bad as I thought Biden was doing as many times and as sleepy as I thought the dude was,
He was still
and how
your
sad,
president.
he was still my president. Right. And I still backed him. When Kamala was running, because I didn't want her to win, but if Kamala was here right now, of course I'd be making jokes about the cackling and the word salads, but I would still support her because I'm supporting America.
Right.
We can't do that with Trump. For some reason, we just can't get there. And it's gotten to the point where people are trying to take us. I think this is like the 6th attempt, literally, on his life. I think he's got mailed, or some of the other people in his cabinet has got mailed niacin or ryacin, I think it's called.
Ryacin.
You got Crooks, you got the guy with the shotgun, Mar-a-Lago, you got the guy in the sniper's nest, you got this guy, and I can't remember the other one. There was another one where he didn't get shot, but the guy with the forklift that tried to drive into his car cavalcade, and he ended up hitting a fence. I found that one out. And I sent you something I thought was really funny because I went to ChatGPT and said, which U.S. presidents had the most attempts on their lives? And it lists the top 3, which was
Gerald Ford.
Yep, Reagan, and I can't remember the other one, but it didn't even mention Trump, which I thought was kind of weird. But
maybe they didn't understand sitting president. Maybe they thought you were talking about, previous presidents.
Yeah.
Because chat's not perfect.
It's not smart. It's not.
So you mentioned the guy with the swastika, honestly, and he didn't know what it meant. So what do you think about James Comey saying that he put that 8647 up on thing in shells, and he took it down because he didn't know that it meant violence?
Well, he said that he found it, right? He didn't put it up. He posted it, but he said he found it there. And this is the head of, what was this, the FBI?
FBI, yeah.
Right. How did he not know what 86 means? I'm poor.
Well,
That's like,
but see, I mean, in the restaurant business, we use the term 86 all the time.
you're kicking somebody out.
No, it just means, so like we're out of fries, 86 fries. So 86 fries off the menu because we're out.
You're gone.
We just don't have any. We don't have any, 86.
Right.
So 8647 could just mean you want him gone. Doesn't mean you want him violently
doesn't necessarily
extracted.
mean dead. Yeah. No, I agree with that. I don't think 86 does not necessarily mean.
Right.
But again, you got unhinged individuals
Right,
who
got
don't know,
yeah.
right? Because most people, you're playing Call of Duty all day long, 24 hours a day. 86 means kill.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. In that context, yes, it does. No, I was just curious because I think that's, and again, I don't condone some of the things that Trump has done. Definitely, I don't. I don't want him dead.
No.
I mean, I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
No.
But I wish personally, I wish he'd stop doing stupid stuff.
I agree.
That's all I wish.
110%. I feel embarrassed. Like I said, we were in Fiji and someone actually apologized for us. Some Australians apologized to us for Trump being our president. Now, if you go to Australia now, it's totally different. They love him. But for his first term, oh my God, everybody thought the worst of him. I thought the worst of him.
Well, and again, I'm calling you out here. That's a generalization. I think some people in Australia love him. I don't know that everybody loves him.
Well, that's true.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Not everybody.
Same way in America. Not everybody hates Trump.
No. But the people who love him, love him. The people who hate him, I have friends that I swear I can see at least 50 posts an hour. I mean, just literally everything they can post. They don't research anything. It's just anger, hate. And I'm like, come up for air, please. Like, You know, it's okay to hate the guy. It's okay to hate him, but come up for air, because the stuff that they're sharing that they haven't even researched will go to somebody else who actually believes it.
Yeah.
And that's the scary thing. That's the spin that concerns me, is that, you know, people have to realize that we're in a situation, we're in a world where people are not always mentally stable. And a lot of people,
sometimes it's the people in power.
Yeah, sometimes the people, yeah. So we got people in power who are, and we have to realize, and this is where I will go to both sides, they don't care about you. They don't care about you. Republicans and well, not really independents, because they're not really any independents in power, but Republicans and Democrats want to hold on to power.
Yeah.
And they will use you, your kids, your family, your
I agree with
stomachs,
that.
your everything in order to maintain that. And that's what we have to realize. I mean, you know.
But if in order to change it, we have to change the system.
We have to change the system. We have to change the
I don't
system.
know how that would look.
Yeah. We have to get a king. No, kidding.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he was in town today.
He was in town, and
Yeah.
everybody who was in the No Kings protest was there welcoming the king. So, and the people who didn't like dictators were fighting to return a dictator.
Well, you know, but the thing is,
dictatorship.
King Charles has no power. You realize that he's just a figurehead.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just a royalty figurehead, and they make a lot of money over there, and don't really do anything.
Just a lot of power, a lot of
Hey,
pomp and circumstance.
speaking about making money, here's something that the national media is not really talking about, and that's Trump's ability to manipulate the stock market
Yes.
by saying things that may not necessarily be 100% true.
So I looked into that, and again, ChatGPT commented on that about, like, because somebody posted a meme and it said, you know, like you said, he mentioned something and he made a bunch of money. They were saying there's really no ties to him actually making that money. Like, what do we see? Because
No, his business has made it, which he's not in control of right now.
right, his sons are. So
Yeah.
you think that he could be telling his kids that, you know, because I think Eric is running the family business right now, right? So, I mean, it's
All I'm saying is that he knew he wasn't talking to the Iranians, and they didn't have a deal in place ready to go. But he said everything looks great, everything's great, everything's working out great. Stock market shot up. The very next day, boom, Strait of
Ceasefire
Hormuz,
stop.
ceasefire stop, and went down.
and they pulled out right in time. I would think that inside trading, even if it's from family, should be pretty easy to track down. I mean, they got Martha Stewart. For some reason, they never catch Nancy Pelosi. But I mean, you know, I would.
Well, she's from California.
Yeah, she's from California. She's going to get away. Plus, yeah, she's Newsom's auntie. So
Oh, is she really?
I think she's Newsom's auntie. if
Oh,
I'm not
well, there
mistaken.
you go. That's nepotism right there.
Yeah, yeah. They always say that she's the auntie. So
Auntie Christ? No.
yeah, she's definitely the
She's the
entrepreneur.
Auntie Christ,
But yeah, I would think that if there was a strong enough trail. Now again, this is DOJ,
And it's his DOJ.
right? So yeah, it's his DOJ. So if he's doing it and he wants to get away with it, but the funny thing is, the Democrats and Republicans basically voted out the ability to actually go after that because they try to pass a law
Because they're all doing it.
because they're all doing it. So if he's doing it, and
Yeah, I'm not
justifying-
saying,
Yeah.
I mean, to me, as a businessman, it's smart.
Yeah.
It's a little illegal, or a little, let's not say illegal. It's a little sketchy.
It's on a gray area. It's a gray
Well,
area.
I mean, it's not gray. I mean, it's technically illegal, but it is also just like any other like loophole. Like I own a big corporation. I don't pay myself a salary because if I pay myself a salary, I have to pay
Pay more
taxes on it.
it. Yeah,
So I don't pay myself a salary.
Right.
I get my money other ways.
I do loans.
Yeah. And so that's a loophole.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he could technically say, I'm not running my company.
That is true.
You
That
know.
is true. And again, it's the art of the deal. And it's the art of the deal.
I'm not saying he's not smart in some ways. I tell you.
He's definitely a polarizing figure. I can say that for sure. And like I said, I think I watched maybe one season of The Apprentice, only because I thought it was interesting back then. So I just watched the show. But I never really liked him. He wasn't really in the show that much. He just showed up at the desk and fired people and
Right.
gave people jobs and he disappeared. So it wasn't like he was on there, You
It
know,
wasn't
the
like
whole time.
Ryan Seacrest where you see him all
Right,
the time. Yeah.
right. So I thought the show was interesting because that was kind of like in the early ages of reality TV
Yeah.
too, right? It was still kind of cool to see people in reality doing real things, real people, you know, real
Because
consequences.
it was like Survivor and the one where they go around the world and couples go around the world and they compete
the
against
Great
each other.
Race,
Not the Amazing Race.
The Amazing Race.
Amazing Race. So
Yeah.
those were, and then The Apprentice was like the third one.
Was
I
it like,
think.
yeah, exactly.
Something like that. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, Fear Factor and things like that too
Oh, yeah,
around
you
that
did
time.
that.
But I mean, The Apprentice was, I mean, it was a top rated show. So
Yeah.
of course that's where I got my introductory into Trump. Outside of that, it was rap music, because every rap song had something about Trump because it represented money.
Well, and what's the guy's name? He's the sportscaster, African American, Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith was doing this rant the other day about, before Trump was president, he was with us with sports guys. He was hanging out with us. We were playing golf with him. Nobody called him a racist. Nobody called him this. Nobody called him that.
Yeah, he helped fund Jesse Jackson's presidential run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think I almost want to say that Trump is a meme of himself.
He is. No, I would
that
agree.
he's more shifty than he is. I don't think he's dumb at all. I think he's shifty. I think he says some dumb things,
I think he says a lot
but I
of
don't
dumb
think
things.
that makes him dumb.
I think he says a lot of dumb things. I agree. But for a good laugh, Google Trump on Soul Train.
Was he on Soul Train?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's actually doing the WAP on Soul Train with his mullet and everything.
Oh man, that was in the
If-
80s.
Yeah, probably late 70s,
Soul
early 80s.
Soul Train.
So if you think
Yeah.
people think Trump
I
is
don't-
completely, plus his first one of the he dated, what's her name, the black lady, for a while too.
Eamon?
No, not
Yeah.
Iman. It was.
I don't think he's racist. I don't. I don't think he's racist.
I don't think there's stories out there that.
I think it's just like getting canceled. If you tell a joke, or something, and then it's off color or it has a racial tone to it, you're a racist. But that's not. I don't think that's accurate.
But I think it's only if you're targeted. Because remember, Jimmy Kimmel did blackface. Nobody said anything about him until he started beefing with Trump.
Amos and Andy.
Amos and Andy. I mean, all of them. Al Jolson. Like nobody really says.
What was that?
anything.
What was the guy who did the movie about going to college? He couldn't get into college.
Oh,
because of
C.
his
Thomas
wife.
Howell,
Yeah,
Soul
C. Thomas
Man.
Howell, Soul Man.
Yeah, it was. So nobody said.
Yeah.
Now, if C. Thomas Hall came out in support of Trump,
Oh yeah, he'd get.
then somebody would probably say something about it.
Robert Downey Jr. probably played one of the best black characters I've seen on the movies.
But you notice nobody's saying anything to him because
No.
he's definitely anti-Trump.
Is he?
Oh yeah.
Is he?
Oh yeah. No, they had the whole cast of not the whole cast, but most of the guys that starred in some of the Avengers movies get together and they did this whole like anti-Trump thing.
Yeah. See, I think that individuals should have an opinion, but I don't think celebrity should use that opinion to try to influence, and it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
I mean-
it turns more people off than it does on.
How much did they pay Megan Thee Stallion to twerk? And she still Kamala still lost. So people got a concert, they got some twerking, and
Yeah.
and I think she's still paying for that. I think they're still paying off that campaign. So this whole thing with Trump, I think people just when we're saying tone down the rhetoric, we can't say tone down the rhetoric from the right and then ignore the fact that the left says this. We can't say tone down the rhetoric from the left and ignore the stuff that the right says.
Yeah, I agree.
I think every politician, if they want to show you, to me, and I'm going to go on record and say this, if a politician wants to show you how much they care about you and what goes on in your world, then they would take a stand for you, not so much as running on, let's just hate this person, or let's look at this crime, or let's look at that, let's do this, let's do that, but ignore the fact that they're putting you mentally in harm's way.
Anguish.
Yeah, the mental anguish. I mean, that's one of the reasons why, I left being a Democrat, because I felt myself just being emotional about everything I didn't agree with. And then I see people now that are doing it, and I'm like, that was me. And I started thinking for myself, and I started thinking, oh my God, I realized I was lied to about all these other things when I started doing my research. And I started feeling like a great weight was lifted. And I'm not a Republican because I don't think they're that much better. But
you're an American.
I am an American.
And that's the important part.
And that's, yeah. And I would like to have politicians that don't lie to me. I would like to have politicians that's not running a Manchurian candidate, psyops on me to make me feel like I need to take a train from California to Washington to try to kill a bunch of people. And it's really, like you said, what's the fix? No one knows a fix.
So do you feel like, this is a dumb question, I don't even know why I'm asking it. I mean, I think I know the answer. Do you feel like there will be more attempts made on his life? Oh,
for sure. I feel like there's going to be more attempts because we're not toning anything down. Actually, in fact, we just double down on it. Says Ivania attacks Jimmy Kimmel for what he said. Now people are going back into, it's the First Amendment thing. It's a vicious cycle. And that First Amendment conversation is going to turn into this, and it's going to turn into that. And it's just going to grow. And the next thing you know, we're right back where we started.
Well, this goes back to what you said about Preddy, right? He could legally take the gun there, but he probably shouldn't have.
Right.
All right. So with the First Amendment, we have freedom of speech,
right?
But it's not freedom of speech without consequences.
Correct.
So if you want to say something off the wall, you got to be prepared
for the consequences.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes, it's your freedom to say it, but maybe it's not the best thing to say.
Right. And there's people that are just loyal for no damn reason. And people are going to think whatever he says is funny. I saw the skit.
Well, people are going to do the same thing with Trump.
Yeah.
No matter what he says.
Whatever
he's my.
Yeah. I mean, he even said he had his comedy writers working around the clock for the dinner, and he didn't get to use any of it. But
we could go back to the conspiracy aspect in this and say that this was all a conspiracy because he didn't really want to be there anyway.
Right. That's true. I think he's the first president that's gone to one in a long time. Right?
No. Biden went to him. The thing with Trump was Trump didn't go to him because of the way the press treated him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So he didn't do. So and I don't blame him. Why would you want to go sit there and be lambasted by people who just treat you like crap?
Yeah, I have a call back instantly to, I forget who was talking on stage, and Trump was at one of these dinners, and he was sitting there, and the camera was looking at him, and you can just see this profile of Trump, and they were making fun of him about not becoming president. I think it was Obama made a joke and whatever, and everybody laughed, and Trump had like the most serious face ever. I'm just drawing back on that. I thought it was just hilarious, but no, you're right. Yeah, you have the rights to do many things, but
common sense should take hold.
Yeah. If common sense is not behind the wheel,
you're off the rails.
You're off the rails. You're going off the road. Tesla or not.
So a couple other things. You got the guy, and I can't remember his name now.
Cole Allen?
No, was it Bennis or something like that? The guy who was sitting there eating the salad.
Yes.
And he just kept.
He just kept eating.
That's going to be on Saturday. That's going to be a skit on Saturday Night Live. He just sitting there. Now he said he had a bad back and something else, and he was too old to be getting down on the ground.
Yeah.
But I just see him, and he's sitting there, and he's putting the fork and the food in his mouth, and just eating. And I'm like, I love this guy.
I thought that was CGI at first. I thought it was AI, and then I realized it was real.
No, it was.
And the other guy that's at the table holding the phone, and he's videotaping the agents pushing Trump out the other way. He's just holding his phone there the entire time. It's like people are like, it's just another day.
Yeah.
It's just another day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so common now that, the attempts on Trump's life, or again, it wasn't just Trump. He wanted to take out everybody from the cabinet that was there except for Kash Patel.
Yeah.
We got to be clear on that, because it's not just a Trump thing. This is definitely political in every way, shape, or form, because it wasn't just Trump. It was Republicans.
Yeah.
It was Republicans that supported Trump.
Well, and when you think of, and God forbid, you think of mass shootings in the world, it take out all sorts of people. I mean, if he was one of those that could have gotten away with it, he probably would have taken the whole table down.
Oh yeah, if he had gotten in there, I mean, 2 pistols
and Oz Perlman too,
shotgun. Yeah, and Oz Perlman. Yeah, that would have been a loss.
Yeah. Well, so would everybody else. No, don't get us wrong. It would have been a loss if anybody had died.
That guy's awesome.
He is awesome.
He is awesome. I love Mentalist. But yeah, no, it's terrible. We just really need to
walk back the rhetoric.
Yeah, I mean, I would challenge everybody just to take a week off of social media, not post anything, not read anything that's political, post some funny memes, some cat videos, and just see how you feel after a week.
Or just get off it altogether.
Or just get it off of it all, because no matter if you're looking at cat videos, it's gonna be a cat video with a mustache, looks like Hitler, and it's gonna be Trump. So yeah, you're gonna
an orange cat
with
a black mustache,
an orange tabby. But people just need to step back. I mean, I have a relative that, for the life of me, to this day, no matter what, and I've shown her the BBC video where the guy, the CEO left because they got busted editing that video with Trump, putting that he was go to the Capitol and fight like hell. And I'm still unable to convince her that was edited, even though all the evidence is there. So there's people who just, once they get it in there, it's not going out. It's not, you're not gonna rewrite it.
Well, and like I've tried to find videos of some of the things. Like I was trying to find the Fox News video where the guys were on the hot mic talking about how lax the security was. Mm-hmm. But you can't even find the original video that somebody hasn't already added their own stuff to and doctored to.
Yeah.
And so it's like you can't even know what you're getting because people are already, and the original disappears. You can't find it anymore. So that's a problem.
Well, I mean, Fox only represents Fox and Sky News, and Newsmax is only 10% of anything that's Trump related. The other 90% is all
the negative.
The left, the left.
But even so, I mean, it's interesting to see. I mean, because these news reporters, whether they're Fox or not, they see what's going on. They're pretty smart people. They're letting anybody in here. You know, it was almost like
there was a Fox reporter, because they were live, and she started to say, like, she goes, I thought this was kind of strange and she started to do the same thing like you said. She was mentioning that she thought security was pretty lax, and you can tell she was kind of going on that path where it sounds like she was going to say, this could be hoax. This could be.
Oh, was she live?
They cut her off.
She was live. See, these guys were not live. These guys, this was a hot mic. They weren't on camera yet. Mm-hmm. They were getting ready to do some interviewing and stuff. Yeah. So it's like there was no cutting them off. Whoever the cameraman was released that video.
Oh, wow.
So this wasn't something that was on the air. Yeah. This was something that was released,
I still don't get the whole, the conspiracies on these things. Like somebody said, I still get video. I still get social media feeds that talk about Butler being staged, right? And so I asked my friend. I said, "Take me down. Make this make sense to me." So you're saying that Trump and only a handful of people went to this one guy Crooks and says, "Hey, we need you to climb up on this roof. No one's going to touch you. No one's going to say anything. I want you to take a shot at me, but miss and hit somebody behind me. And at the same time, I'm going to take a razor, cut my ear, and then when Secret Service tackle me, I'm going to grab a blood bag and then bust it on my ear and get up and make a pose while the photographer we paid down there is getting the perfect pictures, from my campaign. Like, and what's going to happen to me, sir? Shooting up on the roof. You'll be fine. Nobody's going to mess with you. Whatever. But just don't shoot me. Come very, very close. Come close enough to where a high-speed camera can pick up the bullet zipping past my head, but don't hit me. And there's a guy back there.
Why would they have a high-speed camera there?
I don't know. Well, it may not be high speed, but they picked up the bullet.
Down,
it picked up. You can see the bullet zipping by, and when he touches his ear the first time, you can see blood when he first goes like this. So, I'm trying to
he was in the WWE.
Yeah, well,
and they do that in the WWE. They do that.
He's a 77-year-old man with that type of reflex, and I mean, I guess. I mean, the guy fired off a bunch of rounds, and he's got his head open up like a canoe. I would say, that sounds like a pretty good conspiracy. I mean, he got the short end of the stick, but I just try to ask people, walk me through how that works. Same with this one. Walk me through how he went to somebody.
Well, I don't think you can. I mean, I know a lot of people will say there's conspiracies out there.
Right.
I don't. The only one I look at that I think that I wonder what really happened is the Charlie Kirk thing. Because I don't know how. He jumped off the roof. It was obvious he didn't have a gun jumping off the roof. The gun was found in the woods altogether, and no way he could have tossed it from the building to where it was found. So I just don't. That's the only one I'm not saying it's a conspiracy. I just don't know.
No, I thought about that too, and I thought about it to the point where and I try to entertain all sides, right? So I try to entertain. Okay, let's say this is all set up. This is a conspiracy and everything. So obviously somebody wanted him to go up there. Why was he up there? Yeah, let's say even if he didn't have a gun, was he up there to be a patsy? That means it's a deep state, more of a deep state situation than anything else, because why would you go up there? Why would you have a gun that matched the bullet that actually killed Charlie Kirk, even if he didn't have it? So who would have had him do that? There was still an attempt. The best I can squeeze out of that whole entire scenario was that guy was a patsy for whoever actually did shoot him, right? Outside of that, everything else is still the same. Someone shot him.
Right.
Someone wanted to make sure it seemed like it was a leftist thing. Someone wanted to set this guy up. Someone planted the other gun there. And, his messages to his girlfriend and all that type of stuff all just seemed to fall in line perfectly. Like everything, all the dominoes fell in place perfectly during that one. That if it is a conspiracy, if this was something that was deep state, it is the best one ever. Because
and the only thing is, like you said, at first it was inconclusive with the bullets, but then they said they matched. But again, they matched the gun that was found in the woods. Away from the rooftop.
Right.
So yeah, it could easily have been the gun.
And and from what I understand, it was a couple hundred feet away, right?
Yeah.
The gun was found a couple hundred feet from where, and it wasn't in the direction that he ran.
No.
Right. And I've heard people say that he threw it. It's like no way he would have thrown a gun a couple hundred feet. No, there's no way. So
Tom Brady can't even throw a gun 200 feet.
Right. Yeah. If it was shaped like a football, he could.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean these assassinations, there's a lot to be said about it. There's a lot to be said about them, and I think that it's
Heck, we're still talking about Kennedy.
Yes. Yeah. Remember the
years
poor
later.
Russian news guy that got the thallium poisoning? I mean, there's people out there that have a skill set to do these type of things, and we can see them on television.
But he didn't even die.
The thallium guy died.
Oh no, what's the other one that the other Russian guy? The thallium was the one in England, right?
Yeah, he died in England. Yeah.
Yeah, but what about the guy that was the anti-Putin guy? He didn't die from the poisoning. I think he died after that.
I can't remember how he died. I remember that one too, but the thallium guy I only remember because of a movie I watched.
Yeah, I do
Gibson.
remember. I do remember that. Yeah.
But I mean, there's guys out there that have these
the skill set,
the skill sets to make it look like exactly what you want to make it to look like. And if Charlie Kirk's assassination was done by somebody else, we're not going to figure out who that is. They have their patsy. You have the smoking gun. Everything matches. He text messaged his girlfriend, said that he had to do it, even if he didn't do it. So the communication puts him into place. The motivation, the way the media spins a lot of these assassinations, how it ties into transgenderism and stuff like that. I mean, everything is there. Everything falls in the line to make it seem like.
Well, and again, if he posted anything on the internet and he was being monitored,
Oh yeah,
they find, okay, this is the guy. We can use him.
Yep.
He'll be the one.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So we just need to stop. We need to stop. We need to stop with the violence.
Yeah.
We need to stop thinking that, even yelling at someone because they disagree with you or you disagree with them, as minor as it sounds, it's a small piece of a bigger puzzle.
Well, and what's interesting, and I'm not going to mention anybody's names here, but there are people that I know that are nearby me. I'm not in my house, but that are those kind of unhinged people that you say something to them, they take it the wrong way, and they go ballistic.
Oh yeah.
They go ballistic, almost to where they want to fight you for it. So it doesn't surprise me that there are people out there like that.
I am a prolific troll. I will troll people and say things. Cause there was a meme I posted a while back about, it says, "Don't poke the bear," and then there's a picture of somebody. Remember that I posted that on Facebook? That is me. I will do that. And there was a post on something, I can't remember what it was, and I made a comment on. Actually, no, I asked a question. It wasn't even a comment.
Right, I remember that.
I asked a question, and this guy was literally talking about killing me.
Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, it wasn't even a comment. It was a question, but people would say things to me, and then of course, obviously, I would respond back, and mostly it's out of boredom. But yeah, this guy wanted to kill me.
Don't get yourself killed. Because,
No. I think he's like in New York or something. But yeah, I mean, people.
Bet he could take a train.
He could, and wearing a diaper, nonstop.
You don't need a diaper on the train because you can They got bathrooms on the train.
That is true. That is true.
Hey, what do you say we wrap this up?
I think we've kicked this dead horse.
Yeah.
Man, is that a right slogan?
Kick the dead horse? Yeah, I think that is.
Yeah.
It's like kicking a dead dog, dead horse.
Yeah, I don't want to kick dead
Yeah,
dogs. But no, I agree. I think we should wrap this up. I think
Because we'll have another opportunity to do this again, I'm sure.
yeah, and this is only number 6. When number 7 comes, we'll be back. Hopefully that that doesn't be the last one.
Yeah.
I have to say. But
So thanks for watching.
thanks for listening.
Like and subscribe.
Comment, email.
Yep. Don't forget. Now you can reach us through email on our website, these2guys.com. Larry and I both have addresses on that email there. You can email to us. We will get them. We'll respond to you and enter the contest. Okay. We want to give stuff away, so
Yes,
we want
we
you
do.
to enter the contest.
And comment. Whatever you guys, if you feel like we're both wrong, we're both right. I'm wrong, he's right. He's wrong, I'm right. and
He's wrong. I'm right.
I'm wrong.
No.
But just say something. Just say, the dialogue has to flow. Like people need to speak. We need to start using our words again and stop,
I agree.
Fighting against each other. We really do.
Right.
And that's how we heal the world.
Right. Amen, brother.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Love you. Peace out. See you next time.
It's these two guys. These two guys. It's these two guys.